Following independence in 1990, the Namibian Correctional Service, which was at the time referred to as the Namibian Prison Service, experienced two major challenges. One is overcrowding, and two, a high cost of housing offenders. It is against this background that community service orders were introduced as a means to address these challenges. The non-custodian sentencing alternative requires offenders who do not pose a risk to society to perform a number of hours of constructive unpaid work for the benefit of the community. NCS derives its mandate to supervise community service orders from Section 132 of the Correctional Service Act, Act Number 9 of 2012, as well as Section 276 of the Criminal Procedure Act, Act Number 51 of 1977. Introduced in 2006, it is currently running in 31 of the 43 lower courts around the country. Community service orders resonate well with NCS's mission to provide exceptional correctional services that empower offenders to effectively reintegrate into society as law-abiding citizens. Head of Community Service Orders, Deputy Commissioner Natacha Booysen, explains the criteria used for sentencing offenders to community service.
Offences such as shoplifting, theft, common assault, criminal injuria are more likely to be considered for community service orders. Inherently serious offences such as rape, murder, stock theft, fraud, robbery, and bestiality are not prospective offences to be considered for community service orders. First-time offenders, not posing any risk to society, should as far as possible not be sent to confinement unless the offence is of a serious nature. These offenders are more likely to be considered for community service orders. Repeat offenders can also be considered for community service orders, provided that their convictions are for non-serious offences and the court is satisfied that the accused can benefit from such an order. Whether the offender is employed, is the breadwinner, or is having family dependents is also factors to be considered for community service orders. This will allow for the ongoing ability for such a person to continue to support their families.
As a sentencing option, it falls in the domain of the public prosecutors and the magistrates.
Undertaking programs such as these can be of enormous benefit and can help you get your life back on track and reduce the likelihood of you reoffending. Compared to spending time in jail, community service is highly beneficial.
Those cases that warrants for community service orders be streamlined accordingly, because the success of the scheme of community service is dependent on the collaboration of all stakeholders.
Since its inception, a total of 1,994 offenders were placed on community service orders. An ex-offender shares his experience with being sentenced to community service.
My name is Hendrik Aesep. I'm 27 years old. I stay at Hammers, this side of Stinkwater, some maybe 20 to 30 kilos from here. But now I'm staying here close by, so about 3 kilos to come and do my job here, my community service. I was found with cannabis. I was sentenced to 175 hours, and now I've maybe past 80 hours, and it's a little bit hard, but I'm happy with the sentence. There's no problem about the sentence with me.
Without the involvement of various stakeholders, the NCS will not be able to see the successful implementation of the program.
I'd like to encourage the public, the state, and criminal justice partners to become actively involved in the successful implementation of community service orders as a sentencing option. This will avert overcrowding in correctional facilities and ensure that there is enough space and resources available to rehabilitate those that are a danger to society.